Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Chinmay and you're watching a part of Coding My Own Tech Startup series. And this video is related to my last video, which was about how do I set up a microservice, NestJS Microservice based project for CRUD operations. So in the last video, I was talking about how you can set up a microservice architecture based project using NestJS, and in today's video I'm going to talk about how to set up a database ORM layer to your microservices, and then how to add new routes to your API gateway, how to connect them with microservices, how to create data entity and use them as repository and services to give response to controller or request from API gateway. So respond to controller in microservices and request from API gateway. So this is all we are going to talk about today. So let's start. This is a project we were working on. So last time we set the auth services, not feedback. So then later I added a service, same the way I added the auth service. So I added a feedback service here. And today in this video we are going to add new routes in the API gateway, which is this for our feedback. So first, in the API gateway, this is our API gateway, we have to add a new service called feedback. So we have created an app, which you can see the package of JSON here, nest.json. So we have an app called feedback. I have added like nest generate app, so feedback app. Okay, then in the API gateway, every time you add a new service, you have to do this way. You have to make a folder in the source folder with the name of that service. Then you have to create one file mainly, which is a controller file, because you will make a request here, and from here the request will go to your appropriate microservices. So whenever you add a new microservice, you have to make a folder with the service name and then a controller file, and then in the module, basically you have to add that service this way. So whenever you add a new service, like you want to add a new comment service, so copy this from here, and if you can paste here and you can change the name to comment service. So this will be your comment service, and then you can do the remaining things. You can do the RabbitQ user password and host and the RabbitQ which you want to add to that microservice. So this is the way you add microservices to your API gateway. Okay, so we have done this already. So here we'll come back. So I have created a folder in source feedback, and then I have created a file called feedback.com, feedback.controller, and here basically you have to create routes. So I have created few routes already. So you have to you can copy paste code from this app to controller. So all this you have to copy from here to here, not here to here, and then just change the name of the files and then fine. So here basically I have added two routes. One is the feedback, which you use to get all the feedbacks, and one route is create feedback, which you use to create a feedback. So these routes are in the API gateway. So here feedback. So now this is the API gateway, and in order to connect this API gateway to this feedback microservices, here in the API gateway you have to create a folder, create control file, and then make some routes, and then to connect these routes to particular service, we have already added a service here. Then okay, let's change it. Yeah, wow, what's happened? Why is working? Yeah, yes. Come here. Make a folder called entity, because we need data entity. First, let's see how to add database ORM. So come to the module. Here you have to type this code. Type ORM module.forroot async import config module. So you can use configuration file. Here, remove this. You have to copy paste this code and then uncomment this file, autoload entities and sync and true. You can copy code from auth service, I think. Come to source, come to module. Okay, then you have to do all. Then you have to add entity, then you have to copy this, then you have to come to feedback module, and you have to, I think here, yeah, paste it, and you have to change the name to feedback entity, because you want to use feedback entity. And this is the feedback service database. Basically every service can have a different database, so that's why you have to set up a type ORM for every single service. So that's why I'm doing this here. So module, so here feedback entity. So now you have to create this feedback entity in entities folder, a new file, feedback entity entity.ts. okay, file created. So you can go to the you can copy this code, you can do it with me. Basically come here, paste it, and just change the name as feedback entity and add some column, like our feedback is have a title as of now. Just copy this and paste. Okay, yeah, this has to be a rating, and this has to be for now you can say it's okay, it's a number. Okay, and entity. Okay, t1 feedback entity. So now come to the module, import it, add import. Okay, so this is how you can add a database ORM layer with this line of code called type ORM. You have to install type ORM in NestJS. You can check it on the internet how you can add type ORM to NestJS. After that you have to write this code, then you have to write this code in order to include entities. Then you have to create a folder called in source called entities. You have to create all the data entities here, and then in module we don't have to do anything else here. It's fine. Then go to the services, then go to the controller. This is the controller from where we receive events or messages from the API gateway. So in API gateway we are emitting this get feedback event on this route. So basically in microservices you have particular routes, and on the particular route from API gateway you emit some events. So on this particular route we are emitting this event, and this particular route we are emitting this event. So in the feedback controller you have to control them. Okay, so this is the event and this is the event I told you in the last section. Okay, you just have to do cut feedback. Okay. Okay, just return a single feedback, no, not a array. Yeah, fine. So here you control all the message events and requests from the API gateway. So here basically in order to control, like you can just do like we did in the last video, same here, but today I will show you how you can add a new route. So for an example, here in the API gateway in the feed for the feedback service. So in the API gateway for the feedback service you have to add a new route, which you can say you want to use to update a feedback. So you can copy paste this, copy, and then paste route to update a post single feedback. You have to change the route, update feedback, and message, method name, update feedback, and then event name, update feedback. This dot feedback service dot send update feedback. Okay, route is update feedback, event is update feedback. So we are on this particular route we are emitting this event, and we have to catch it in the feedback services. So come here in the controller, copy this, come here, paste it, say update feedback, say update a feedback on the event, update feedback, return feedback, and here, okay, come to the service, copy this, paste in service, make a message, update feedback. You can say I am a new updated feedback, okay, with a rating I think 3.5. okay, fine. So now what should happen whenever you will hit this route in API gateway? So whenever you will hit this route, update feedback, this route should event this particular event. This route should emit this particular event, and then event should be catched by this feedback services in this controller. And when this controller will catch this event, we'll call this update feedback method okay, update feedback method in this feedback services. It will send that data to the controller, and in this microservice, controller will send data to the user. Okay, fine. So as of now, let's check it basically. So okay, so if I do feedback, it's give me up feedback, and if I do update, okay, not here, I think here, if I do update feedback, it give me okay, cannot post. Why? Let's see. Okay, I think it's you have to make post request. Okay, it's a post request. Update feedback, go to the controller, update feedback, microservices, okay, fine. Let's see if everything is working. Feedback is okay. This feedback is working. Okay, I'm a feedback. Okay, create feedback. Okay, I'm new feedback, rating 3. And if I say update of feedback, it say cannot post. Why? We get no. Update feedback, not post. Why? Okay. Okay, so it update, not update. Fine. Okay, done. No, I can update. So I have a new update feedback. So this is how you edit a new route, you edit a new operation to your microservices. Okay, so you in this API gateway, you add service, then the controller file, you add a new route. That particular new route will event a particular new event, and that event will get catched by the controller in your actual microservice here. And whenever this will catch this event, this will call this feature, this function, and this function has a logic to send data to user. So till now we were doing it without database. So now let's do it with database. So what you need to do in order to do it with a database, you have to go to the auth, then controller service. Yeah, you have to cover this line, go to the service, and you have to copy this here. Why? Because we have to use database, so we are using type ORM. We are using type ORM. So in type ORM, basically we have to add. Okay, we have to work with the repository, data repository. So in order to interact with database, so that's what we are setting up here. Feedback repository, and it should be feedback repository. Cannot find repository. Just just import it. Okay, fine. So okay, fine. So now basically you can use the feedback database table in your database to add, delete, update, and read data with this repository method. So go to the ORM services, check. We can use this repository.find, this .save, and in controller we have to nothing. Everything's fine. We have to do nothing. Okay, we have already added the type ORM here. Type ORM module. We have this. Okay, surface. So now basically I have to get feedback. I want to like just send a one single feedback. So but maybe like many feedback. So maybe I can send an array, and then I can send like this dot repository dot find many. So this in type ORM, this find will like fetch an array of data based upon the logic. So this dot feedback repository get me all. This is same as like select all from feedback. Okay, this same as this. Okay, get feedback. So if you will now do get feedback, it should return an empty an array, I think. Yeah, it is. Okay, now when we create a feedback, what we can do this dot repository dot save dot save. Okay, now title am a new feedback, and rating is 4. Okay, so this will generate this new feedback, and when you update it, so it should just do one thing, first find a feedback, maybe wait, this dot feedback repository dot point one, where title is I am a new feedback. Okay, if there is a feedback, if there is no feedback, if there's a feedback, return feedback. If there's no feedback, return type. It's like server error, and message not found 44. Okay, fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so now when you hit this update feedback, create feedback and update feedback routes, it should emit an event, and those events should be cached by here. This should return an array, not just single feedback. Okay, yeah. So this controller will cache those events and will call the appropriate method from service, and then we get data. Okay, so not let's check. Feedback should return an empty. So now let's create one, and then let's update one. Okay, this should be post. So create one. So yeah, I am a new feedback, ID 1, ID 2 in the database. Create one more. Okay, ID 2 is the same. Now get feedback. Okay, it's coming from the database. Okay, now update So updated. Okay, I have a new feedback, rating 4. Okay, I have a new feedback, rating 4. The title, okay, this feedback. Then what you can do now, update it. So this dot feedback dot save dot title. I am a newly updated feedback and my rating is 3.5. okay, now update it. So now when I update it, what happened? Okay, wait. This feedback and yeah, I am a newly updated feedback dot rating 3.5. return this dot feedback. Yeah, now check it. Yeah, okay, why so? Localhost update feedback. Okay, let's first get. Okay, we are getting feedback. We are creating a feedback. Now 3. But we are not updating feedback. Wow. So update feedback. Let's introduce a single array. Okay, update feedback. This dot update feedback. Okay, wow. Validation percentage for 3.5. Okay, understood. Now come here. Just give it 4 and it's done. Yeah, I am a newly updated feedback. So feedback with the ID 1 should get updated. Now let's catch here. Catch. ID 1, ID 2, ID 4, ID 1. I am a newly updated feedback. So now copy this. Copy and here like paste. So now you have to find a feedback with this title. And like you can say, for example, like second time. Okay, so I am a second time newly updated feedback. Should be ID 1 and this title. So now title this rating 4, ID 4. Your new rating will be 5. Update. Update. Okay, updated. Now fetch it. Okay, so with the ID 1, I am a second time newly updated feedback. Perfect. Okay, so with this video, basically we saw that how we can add new routes, new data entity, new database ORM layer, like in this case type ORM, and how we can use type ORM to create and update and read data into database using microservices architecture with NestJS. So in the next video, I'll see you with a new topic. First, I'll tell you how to delete data. So with that part, basically our CRUD operations using NestJS Microservices will finish, and we will jump into a project. So thank you.